Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with the Last Huntsman channel here, and today we're going to be going over another part of the Minutemen 101 series. And in this video we're going to be discussing rifle setups. Alright, so we're going to be discussing rifle setups in the Minutemen 101 series here, and let's just get a disclaimer here. I'm not the be-all, know-all expert. This is just my own personal advice, and really a lot of it is just personal preference. So I'm sure all the keyboard Navy SEALs and you know, Delta Force, you know, Army Ranger guys are all going to just hop onto the comment section and just be like, you know, you're wrong, blah 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 blah, and all that. Cool, whatever, show me. You know, that's all I got to say on that. And like I already stated, a lot of this is just personal preference. And just to give a little bit about my background, I was a Marine 0341 infantry mortarman in the Marines. That's it. So, you know, I'm just a basic ass in the grass grunt. I'm not some top tier special forces blah 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 blah, kiss my ass or whatever. So let's just go over how I would suggest setting up your rifle. Okay, so there's going to be a few key fundamentals that I'm going to suggest for a rifle setup as far as the modern Minuteman. And so we'll start going over these, and as you'll see, every single one of my rifles here, and almost every rifle I get, I try to set up in a similar way, not only for familiarity but also for function. So we'll use my little PSA carbine here. First, I would obviously suggest having some form of iron sights. I love red dot sights, I love scopes, I love having optics, but iron sights is 100% guaranteed. So I would always suggest having some means of iron sights. The second thing I would highly suggest on any rifle is a light. Now, there's 100 different ways to set up a lights. A lot of guys like having their lights all set up in different ways. Me personally, I like having my light where I could just actuate it with my thumb right there. And as you see, I like to grip it around the light and then just move my thumb. You know, is that wrong? Is that right? You know, I'm not going to say. There's just 1,000 different ways to set up a light. Now, that being said, if you have like some kind of NVGs and night vision and such, you might probably want some kind of IR setup as well. I don't have money for NVGs, and I know 99% of guys don't, so that's why I'm not even going to really delve into that much. The third thing I'm going to suggest that every rifle needs is some kind of a functional sling. Now, you could spend a lot of money on slings, and there's actually some decent ones that you don't really have to spend that much money on. This was a budget rifle build that I started doing just to see, you know, what I can get away with as far as bare minimum as far as functionality. And so this sling is only like a $30 sling from Midway, USA. Is it the best sling in the world? No. However, two-point sling works pretty good. I've been using it for well over a couple years now, and it's been doing great. So I haven't had any issues out of it. So just any kind of a sling, I suggest a two-point sling, but you know, that's all a personal preference thing. Alright, so a side note that I thought of afterwards, and it's something that I regularly talk about with, you know, people train with and all that good stuff, is whether it's your carbine or your potential just, you know, scout hunting rifle or whatever it is, another thing that you should really be cognitive of is how much it weighs. There's a lot of guys that I see that has just these way overbuilt and really heavy rifles, and I see it the worst with like some of your AR-15s, but even some of your like like other rifles that I see are just super heavy, and a lot of the guys that I see with these just super heavy rifles, they don't actually use them. They don't actually pack them around and carry them and stuff like that. It's just they haul it out of their truck and go straight to a shooting bench and shoot a little bit and then haul it right back to the truck. As a potential Minuteman, your rifle should be pretty lightweight, handy, something that you can grab up and go and, you know, carry for a prolonged hike or endeavor or whatever. But also something that's just quick, easy to grab, quick, easy pointing, all that good stuff. So that's another side note, is just make sure your rifle is fairly lightweight. Alright, so a final thing that I'm going to suggest for any kind of rifle setup, and even I haven't completely done this with all these rifles, you know, a lot of this is just a work in progress, but I would highly suggest some kind of camo on your rifle. This one's just some, you know, made up camo that I did with some oak leaf stencils and some rattle can spray paint. But I would highly suggest some kind of form of camo, because anybody who knows anything about camo will know that black, as I'm wearing a black hoodie, black is not a great color to have in any type of situation. Black will always be darker, and at night it'll stand out. Like even like just this little bit of black on this upper and lower receiver here will stand out a lot. So I highly suggest for any kind of rifle setup to do a camo paint job on your rifle. Alright, to sum up this video, we're going to just kind of give a quick overview for rifle setups. So some of the main things that I look for, that I would highly suggest for a rifle setup, is having backup iron sights, some kind of a sling, a decent sling, a flashlight, and ideally, and I know these aren't done yet, some kind of camo on the rifle so that it doesn't stand out real bad, because black will show up, especially you know, out in nature and such. So all that being said, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.